Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Q and Learning, and this is Stock Picks. The stock we'll be going over today is Upstart, ticker UPST. And the reason why we're going over this stock right now is that it's come down from all-time highs, and while I still believe it's slightly overvalued, I really like the price point that it's at now. Just as a company overview about what really Upstart is and what it does, is that they're basically a primary focus in credit card refinancing. They offer like loans such as student loans and for people who can attend coding boot camps as well. And these loans can also be used for smaller businesses and just businesses in general. They also have a lot of typical rates, like when compared to competitors. And the reason why I believe this company stands out is because the fact that they use AI to basically make these loans happen almost automatically. And again, this is just rating on Maverick Merchant, but they are also rated around 4.5 stars. And they basically say that they provide easy to get loans with excellent customer service, very competitive rates, and impeccable online reputation. And so going over just like the technical stuff, I've put in, as you can see here, the 20 MA, 50 MA, 75 MA. And I still think they are overvalued, and they did just IPO back in December, and they're roughly valued at $72 a share. But now they're valued at close to 122. And so I do think that this amount of growth in such a little amount of time is a little bit too much. But there's a few articles I want to go over just regarding what their price point should be and the potential to finally grow. Just as an overview, again, kind of the same thing as the first article we saw, but it's just talking about how they've worked with regulators since inception and ensure it's operates safely within the law. And they also go through the CFPB, which is basically just, the bureau for going through everything legally in terms of transaction and as well as loans. Going over to tip ranks, as again, I've used a lot of times before, as we also know is very bullish. Four analysts rate the price target at 143, and with market B, again, as we know, is more bearish. They actually say 15% downside. Well, I don't think 103 is such a good value. I would say if you can get in on Upstart roughly at like 110, that'd be really good. But yeah, 103 is a little bit lower. And I know fundamentally this company is probably not there yet, but I do believe they have a really good future. Going to this article, so basically I am part of the Seeking Alpha organization that comes up with multi-baggers, which is basically just companies that can 2x, 3x, 4x. And if we go to the top of this article basically just is just the multiple agger 23, and it just talks about Upstart and what the criteria for a multi-bagger is. And so this person who wrote this article, they actually wrote another article on Upstart around 3 months ago, and they're actually down 4.5%. But the reason why they believe Upstart can be potentially a really strong company is because the fact, as I said before, the amount of AI that they're using and just the efficiency that in which they can get their work done. And so the reason why he's also saying that he's down around 4.5% is that there's also a lockup expiration that expired, I believe, June 15th. And it talks about how lots of employees and management want to diversify their wealth. And basically, it puts a lot of pressure on Upstart, and this is another reason why they can fall from all-time highs. And on top of that, Seeking Alpha shows that there's a short interest of 13.25%. And again, just not very unusual with lack of expiration because a lot of the traders who are invested in this company know about expiration dates pretty well. And so first thing, reason why they believe that this could be a potential multi-bagger is just because of the fact that right now their market cap is roughly around 9.8 billion, or at least when this was first published, 9.4 billion. And for this to become 10 times stock, we believe that it needs to get to roughly 90 billion or even 100 billion. And so we do believe that this stock can get to this point, but another big thing is just volatility. There's no really beta that you can see just on a general site. But I mean, as you can see, going back to trading view, I mean, Upstart swings a lot. So this is a company that's less based on fundamentals and more of a potential stock that we can be talking about in the future, which I believe has a really good future. But in terms of actual fundamentals, I like the fact that this company just has a really good story. Basically, they talk about how they're different from others and like when he assembled the team, so Dave Gerard, the CEO of his company, he's been also the marketing and business development at Virage, a pioneer in video search provider and content management software. And so I believe a really good company has to be started with really good leaders. And for a person that's done so well, especially when he's talked about the CEO before the sale of eBay, Theo's also co-founder Palantir, which we know has gone on gigantic runs this past few weeks. And they also have a 10.2% stake, bought for 500K, and almost sold for $1 billion. So I believe with really good leaders that this company can do extremely well in the near future. I'm just talking about how that they are an innovative company and not just saying that they're AI. Basically, they're saying that Upstart statistical models are predicted income for employment, and that's the differentiator between all these other companies. They're not really motivated on working like with the big banks, and they have to go through a long period of just waiting and just having things to get approved. But with Upstart, it's just right away. It's almost automatic. And one of the last things I want to go over is just their long-term vision here. As this person who was writing this article was saying, Dave Gerard basically was quoted saying that we could probably grow within the next 10 years in the US market and have growth rates that we could be like tremendously thrilled with. But right now, like the opportunity is much larger than they actually need to figure out as of right now. And because of this, and I believe that they have a really good long-term trend. In the long term, we're talking about 2030, 2040, everything, maybe not everything, but around 90% of things by then will be AI. I mean, we're starting to have cars that can drive themselves, and there's even talks about a helicopter that can basically just transport you to another place without even a driver. And so do believe that AI is the future, and I know this is not necessarily fundamental stock that we wanted to see, but this is a stock that I just want to get in now so that we aren't caught on huge runs for going later. But yeah, this is basically all I have for now. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Leave any comments and questions down below. Peace.